Adam Savage here, and my Grogu and some various Grogu test platforms that were part of his construction process. This little guy is very close to a fully animatable puppet. It's been a really amazing journey, and I have a need to move him around the cabin a bit, and he's becoming more and more difficult. His head rests on a caged gimbal that rests it back here, and it's a lot of strain. He's just become a much more delicate object. So I need to make a case that both supports him and protects him. He's been sitting on this counter for a few weeks now as while we work on him slowly. And I've been draping this over so the UV light doesn't overly break down the polymer chains inside his silicone rubber head. So this case will have a few features. One feature will be a stand that he registers into with a couple of little bolsters that come out here and hold him like this. It will also have a top that can stage some stuff, I think, specifically because he'll need some stuff. It'll also have a couple of drawers that will house the things to work on him. And yeah, it needs to be all encompassing. So let's make some drawings. Yeah, I've got a whole plan. Big box, and then I'm going to cut into it. To house this little guy, I'm going to make a box that is, hi there, level. Sure. To house this little guy, I'm going to make a box that is 27 inches high, 11 inches deep, and 16 inches wide. That should house him and 3 drawers full of accessories. Plus, there'll be a platform on the top where there's a handle that folds out, but also I will be able to stand him up there and work on him, and also have a stand that comes out that holds this in orientation. Yeah, I've got a whole plan. Now, all of that you saw me doing, I'm sorry I did it off camera. I just wanted to do it that way. I made a sunken handle. It sits below the surface so I can place Grogu right on top here, and the handle is not a problem. I can lift it up. It lifts from the center of gravity of the entire box. So this will be the top, and it'll get a ever so slightly 1/8 inch proud lip up here. So yeah, I'm going to build out the full extent of the box right now, and then I'm going to cut out the doors and things. So, yeah, here we go. This guy. Yeah, great. That all works great. go. All right, we are almost there. Right. There it is. There's the Grogu. So now what I want to do is put hinges on the side and crack this up the middle. So the middle is half of 16, 8. It's actually 6. Yeah. There it is, something like that, and then all boxed up. All right. So I took the box home last night and I did actually one of my favorite things to do, which was to take a form factor that I know I've got somewhat right and finish it off. And that's just basically starting to add the details that I can see are necessary. So really pleased with this form factor. My drawer is a little screwed up, but that's fine. I can fix that. And I realized I want to put these imperial slots in the sides here. So that's actually going to be, I'm going to do that with a milling bit, and I've chucked an apple box onto my milling table. There we go. So that's going to be the right angle. That's going to be, at any rate, I'm going to set my box doors on there to cut these slots all the same. That's the goal. We will see what we get. But first, I'm going to remove these. And right, we will mark the outer extents of these. Uno. Some measurements to make. All right. There's the hole pattern. These are going to be pills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, and 4 over here. Amazing. Well, I'm really happy with how that setup worked. That worked out really quite nicely. I ended up with some holes that I have to fill. The apple box turned out to be plenty rigid enough on its side, on its mid side. It didn't have the strength. All right, let's start to put these back, shall we? I'm really pleased with how this came out, with how this looks. It's a Sunday. I'm going to go back home and enjoy the rest of my day. But that was good. That was good work today, everybody. That was good work. I can already feel how much lighter it is. Let's get back to relaxing on Sunday. Hey there. I rebuilt the drawer. So now it's full depth. It will actually get some rails and a tray in here so that the remote controller can sit in here, but stuff I need on top can also fit. There's that. But the next step is the Grogu head cradle. I want to be able to... His head is like the heaviest part of him. Yeah, if I laid him out, the head is the heaviest part of him. So there's a mechanic there with servos, and as I carry this thing around, I don't want the head to be doing this. That's bad. That's to be avoided. So I'm gonna work out a way to make a head cradle for him, and we'll go from there. And try and make it hold him securely, but not like in a constricting way. We'll see what I can do. All right, I'm throwing some plastic on the vacuum former here just to warm it up on the platen. And then the goal is I will take that hot plastic and form it over the back of this sample head. And that provides me with a cup that conforms and does not mess with the shape. That's the theory. So I'm picking up the secondary magnet with the first one. It self-centers. I'm getting it into the hole where it's a press fit, and I'm gonna knock it in. Knock it in! And there, we've got 2 magnets down there. I'm quite happy with this. Do they make 1/4-inch neodymium magnets like 10 thou over 1/4 inch just so they can be press fits? Is my question. All right, we're gonna try this. I think we've got a reasonable orientation here. So you All right. So with any project like this, there's 2 halves. There's the structural half, and then there's the aesthetic half. And in general, I always try and do the structural half first, obvi, because the aesthetic half is the fun part, and that's where I get to really cut loose and get it all dialed in. This will not be the permanent connection. There will be a secondary connection that I put in here. But so he comes back like this, and these get removed. And then to go back in, he comes back and gets pushed in. Doink. Great. Good. And then these get put back. Okay, like I said, structural things taken care of. Now it's time to add the aesthetics, and that's going to be fun. I'm going to gather some pieces for that. Many, many years ago, I made a film called Gargoyle and Goblin for my friend David Borla. I did art direction for it when I was 18, art direction. What I mean is I was young and didn't know what I was doing. But back then, I had to make a padded cell set, and I had like $50 as a budget. I mean, maybe $100, but it was nothing. And that money was enough to buy 1-inch open cell white foam in, I think, 3-foot widths. And I lined the walls with it. And I used a staple gun to staple in a quilted padded cell pattern. That's what I tried here. And it's just a little too stapley. When I did it with the open cell foam back when, the foam hid the staples. And so then I actually tried my pneumatic upholstery tack gun, which is a trick I learned from Jack White. I didn't even know such glorious tools existed. But that's also not what I wanted. So I'm going to have to muck around with this a little bit. All right. I think this is how this is going to go. I think I'm going to... Coming along. So we're gonna put that there. I'm gonna put this up here. Shut him up. Ow. That hurt a little bit. Didn't break anything. I've got a block that secures him in the front so he can't fall out. He can't tip out. His head moves a little bit, but not enough to cause damage to the mechanism. I'm going to do a little roundover on these with the router. That's something I wanted to do. Yeah, I want to do that now. So I've got a little roundover bit in here, and I'm going to do it. Yeah, you see what I'm doing. I get you. You see me here. So I'm experimenting with some foam core here, and I'm gonna make a little foam core tray that allows things to sit on top of the controller here. I could put the controller on top of the tray. That's not a bad idea. That's probably a better idea than having to remove the tray, because then the controller always comes out when you're operating this guy. Yeah, that's good. That's exactly what I want. Okay, so if that's the case, then what I need to know is... Come on, let's just cut this down like that. Right. Okay. So that's the stuff that goes in there. Charger, batteries, some extra accessories, and of course you got to have a little absurd object in there. Not totally absurd, but mildly absurd. I don't know about the sigil. So then the right. This lives right there, and hopefully this all just smoothly tracks. It does. Look at that. Excellent. Everything you need right where you need it. Put it down like that. Okay, so now I have one more thing I want to be able to do. Ooh, come on. There we go. So let me get an apple box. Is that going to work? I don't know if that's going to work. Right. So, let's see here. Okay, so then I've got some detail plates here. I'm gonna take my horse down the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. This seems like a reasonable place to stop as any. There will be more to this build, but I am really, really pleased with how this all came out. This is, I always want the ability to iterate my projects in a way that matches the flow in my life. And by that I mean, if I'm working on something like this guy, he exists here in the cave, but then I also want to frequently bring him home on the evenings. I like to bring home some projects on the evenings or the weekends to look at them and think about them and sort of really like slowly think about them. Maybe it's like the shop is for fast thinking and home is for slow thinking. But I was very cognizant that I didn't want to be transporting this guy back and forth between the house and the cave because it's a very sensitive mechanical object. So this satisfies the safe transport, but also, you know how much I love a case narrative. So obviously this will get a paint job, but that's going to be a different video. Paint job will be a totally separate construction. It's going to get a new handle, paint job, probably a bunch of greeblies and details, and also some internal lighting. Yeah. But this has been one of the harder cases to design in my case canon, as it were. It took me longer than most other cases. I get size greedy, and I want the cases always to be as small as they can be while being able to accommodate all the things I want them to hold. I'm always in this tension of case construction. I don't want to build just a big case that handles everything. I did that for the movie Sci-Fi Pistols. That's a case in which I was not thinking about making it small at all. But in most cases where I'm ferrying them around, I want them to be liftable, right? So this gets a new handle and some paint jobs and stuff like that, but that'll be for another day. So right now, we can let him, we now rest easy knowing he's well taken care of. If I had a long car ride, I'd probably put a pillow in there just to protect his face. I don't want anything hard against that. All right. Thank you folks for joining me for this one-day build. I really appreciate it. It only took 3 days. I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much. Oh, also shout out to the UV curing resin. This is Total Boat sent this. I learned about this from Aaron and Kate. Bless them. And it was a clutch material in this execution. I really, really appreciated it. It's the first time I used it in a construction on the fly. All right. Hey everybody, thanks for watching that video. Stickers! We have 4 brand new sticker packs for sale at adamsavage.com, and we have stickers to satisfy everybody in your life. We have right up front a Welcome Maker sticker pack that's got the tested logo, measure once, cut twice, more tested logos, Adam, Welcome Maker, Savage Industries, San Francisco. This is great for the beginning maker to start to dress up their toolboxes. We also have Logo Mojo with just some of our big tested logos and the Katakana logo and some fun stuff. Oh, dude, that is awesome. I hadn't even seen that one before. Okay, Logo Mojo. Then we've got Atomisms. There's always more room on the Z-axis. The tested, always be knolling. It's not a problem to solve. It's a process to manage. Oh yeah, this is great. And then finally, we've got Stick Happens, which is for the screw-ups. Measure once, curse twice. We've got Adam eating everything in sight. We have Savage Industry logos. Oh yeah, demerit badge for going down the rabbit hole. The worn out tested Katakana logo. Dude, there are stickers here to satisfy every sticker fetish
in your life. AdamSavage.com. I cannot wait to see in the comments what you have adorned with these stickers. Thank you. Back to your YouTube rabbit holes.